Well, that was quick.
There you go.
All right, Jimmy Garoppolo just met with the media for about 8 to 10 minutes. And
did you think you were getting 35 or 40?
I was settling in a little bit. Clearly, the 49ers are like, let's do this, make it short and quick, and let's get on with the season.
It's the timeline of a typical post-practice press conference.
Yeah.
7 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, I felt like the two most pertinent questions were the two final questions. One by Tim Kawakami about is this a blow to your ego? And he made a statement like, if this is a blow to your ego, then you should check or something like that. But what he did say is you got to know who you are as a player in this league. And I think that kind of says it all about Garoppolo, JD. Like, he knows he's not Tom Brady. He knows that. So he's saying the right thing.
That's interesting.
But he's going to try to do the right thing, too.
Well, see, I took you got to know who you are in this league a different way than you did. I took that as I know I can play in this league. And I know maybe I can play even on this team at some point. Now, again, not going to say that.
Right.
But I know I can help if I'm called upon. Like, I took it a little bit of a... Yeah, he knows that he knows why he's in the position that he's in as a backup. But I think it's also he knows how good he is as a player and has the confidence that he can step in and fill a void if he needs to and be good.
So he acknowledged the situation this summer was strange, got a little weird. But here's the other thing.
Had to show up.
Yeah. Here's the other thing that I thought was interesting is he was asked about the action in terms of trading for him this summer. And he said there were a lot of discussions. Well, that would differ from a lot of people who think there was no market for him. Nobody was interested. Well, according to Garoppolo, there were a lot of discussions between the 49ers and teams. But Jimmy Garoppolo just talked to the media. There was something else that stuck out to you?
It was, well, you mentioned the Grant Cohn question.
Yes, correct.
We didn't get to that, which was about the shoulder. Yes. Is it something he's still ramping up, or is it something that's fully healed at this point?
Gotcha. Yeah, because that is important. I mean, if Jimmy's not 100% till week 4, well, it's probably good news for Trey Lance to tell you get settled into that position.
And Jimmy also swatting down any indication that there was some kind of rift between him and Trey, or they didn't have a good relationship.
That's one of those that I say, who the hell said they had a bad relationship? Like they had a good relationship. Sure. That was obvious.
Just because they may wind up competing for the same job doesn't mean they have a bad relationship.
Yeah. I took you've got to know who you are as his confidence, unwavering in himself.
Yeah, that's how I took it.
All right, fair enough. Let's go to John in Oakland. Let's get this thing rolling. Jimmy Garoppolo just spoke to the media. What do you think? 888-957-9570. How you doing, John?
Hey, how you guys doing, man? Two things, man, I want to point out. One, the coach made a cardinal sin, man. Eliminate distractions is what we all talk about. And here you guys are playing the interview for the backup quarterback, man. That's a huge distraction.
Hey, real quick, John. Hey, John, real quick. I'll just add an accuracy. Trey Lance also talked today. He talked before Garoppolo, but I hear what you're saying. Go ahead.
Yes, the starter should talk. Yes, not the backup. 2, Jimmy G told me all I need to know about Trey Lance, man. The fact that he decided to stay here is because I believe in his mind, this guy's not taking my job. He didn't take the job. They gave it to him. Jimmy didn't do anything to lose the job. So, any quarterback in the NFL wants to play. You don't go to a job as a starter coming off a championship game expecting to be a backup. So I'm looking at it as, when he first decided to re-sign with this team, it's because he believes in his mind, this kid is not taking my job. Because if he really...
Yeah, John. Hey, John.
That's a good call,
I agree. It might not be he ain't taking my job, but I think Jimmy Garoppolo is saying, you know what? I'm going to play. I'm going to play on this team. One way or the other, I'm going to play. It's either going to be because the kid gets hurt or because the kid struggles. And I think the kid might struggle because I saw him all last year. There might be some. I think Jimmy Garoppolo thinks he's going to play this year.
And the one,
hostility, bro.
And the one thing that would give Jimmy Garoppolo confidence is if he does get that opportunity, he's won so much. And he's played well enough to where they have won. So I almost feel like Jimmy would view it as, all I'm going to need is one shot. And then I dare you to pull me out. I dare you to go back to him at that point.
You want to hear some Trey Lance sound?
Sure.
All right, this is Trey Lance on Jimmy being back.
Not necessarily a shock. I kind of knew, he's always been on the roster, and I see him around every day. We talk almost every day, so definitely not a shock, but excited for Nate that he got another opportunity for sure. Didn't know that was for me. What I didn't know would happen between, with Nate and Brock and how many quarterbacks and guys, everything with cut day. So this week's been a little bit, ups and downs. Lost some guys that I was pretty close with, but, it's just how it goes. But no, it definitely wasn't, I don't think, a shock. But like I said, man, it's great to have him back.
All right. He's got the quarterback speak down.
He does.
Absolutely.
He does have a little...
He's a veteran when it comes to the media.
He does have a little bit of a... I'm going to say it. There's a little bit of Buster Posey and a little bit of Steph Curry in there.
Interesting.
Just in the sound.
Here's more Trey Lance.
I'm super excited just to have him in the room. Another guy, again, who's done it. Got to watch him do it last year. Got to learn a ton from him, and I'm going to continue to learn as much as I can from him. Take all the advice that he's got for me this year.
One more here from Trey Lance.
Did you have any trepidation at all when they first mentioned it to you?
Could you define trepidation?
Nervousness, anxiety?
No, not at all. I was super excited. Like I said, man, he's done it. And for him, I'm going to use him as a huge resource for me throughout this whole entire year. And I know, man, he's always been willing to help me out. So I'm super excited for it.
All right, so it was a win today for the Niners. Everybody's saying the right things. And Jimmy Garoppolo's back. And we'll go from here. But the issue's not tucked away, JD.
No, and there is one thing that I do think needs to be pointed out about both Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo, because it was on display, and it's like these two guys, just as people and the things that they said, and we played pieces, and we played the whole thing, Garoppolo, we played a couple of cuts of Trey. Just the way they can carry themselves gives this thing a shot to succeed. Like, we're sitting around talking about,
True.
How much do you believe in Shanahan's ability to handle the weird situation? And he's been able to do it before. And why do we have confidence in him? And some people don't have confidence in him. But like Jimmy Garoppolo, like the 49ers are lucky. Like another guy with another mentality. And look, I thought he was going to have that mentality.
Feels like he
cut me.
Exactly.
I'll make $1 million somewhere else. Cut me. And he gives a vibe that he's just very comfortable in this, a good guy, a good human. And Trey gives that vibe in a different way. Like confident, like, yeah, he'll help me and I'm going to be fine, but he's the backup. And there's a little territorial tone to Trey, I thought there, which is good.
Yeah, and I thought Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm sure this summer there were times where he's probably thinking, this is BS, man. It's BS or whatever, whether it was his shoulder that did it and then he's eventually come around and like that. Nobody, this is a credit to Garoppolo. Nobody, and this is a backup quarterback, nobody thinks Jimmy Garoppolo will be a problem. It's just not, it's not in the card.
He's not undermining Trey Lance in any way, shape, or form.
No.
That was a PR masterclass by both guys.
Yes.
And Jimmy Garoppolo is going to make $6.5 million guaranteed to hang out with his friends that he already knows, increase his value, and not have to move. He doesn't have to move. He gets to hang out and increase his value. It's perfect. It's a great situation for him.
Yeah, especially if he plays.
Moving's the worst thing.
Oh. He doesn't move. He tells people to move him. Come on. Lori's in Phoenix. What's going on, Lori? How you doing? Hey, Lori.
Hearing Jimmy talk, I think it's exactly what I expected him to say.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he's fine with Trey. He and Trey are, everybody's bringing up this whole, it's going to be a distraction, it's going to be awful. I don't think anyone on this team sees it that way. And I think that he just told you, basically, things didn't work out. I think, if anything else, it's more of an indication to the rest of the league. Hey, I can still start. None of you guys wanted me, or at least you didn't want me for my price. Well, you go ahead and start with Carson Wentz. You go ahead and have Mitch Trubisky. I'm going to hang out here. I'm going to hang on to the clipboard. If I get a chance to play, I'm going to play. But I know my value. I know I'm good enough to be a starter. So, to me, it was more about the rest of the league than it was about having to be a backup for the 49ers.
Yeah. Thanks, Lori. Appreciate the call. I don't know about that. Like, what was his first thing he said? Here's the part that he said 4 times, and this is where he said 4 times, happy to be a Niner. I don't believe that. He was the starting quarterback in 2 of the last 3 NFC championship games. He went to a Super Bowl. He was a starting quarterback. He's 31-14 as a starter. He's coming back to the same team as a backup. It did not play out like he thought, and he's not happy. But, again, credit to Garoppolo, him not being happy is not going to be a factor. And when I say I don't think he's happy, I mean, he would acknowledge it hasn't worked out like he wanted.
He may not be happy, but he was also smart enough to read the room and say, $6.5 million to just stay here. That's a pretty good deal. I'll deal. If I'm going to be unhappy, this is a pretty good way to be unhappy.
Right. And I think here's what happened is as the summer went on, like the 49ers made a move because they didn't envision a scenario. And Jimmy Garoppolo found himself in a scenario that maybe he didn't imagine. And the 49ers and Garoppolo came together to try to do what's best for both. 650, Steiny wants controversy. Oh, I got it, baby. I got it. It's just a matter of when it comes. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo on the roster, it's going to be a fun year. And even if Trey Lance is great and Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't play, well, that means the 49ers are making a Super Bowl run.
It'll be easy to just be quiet and not be heard from again at that point. Which I do think this is the last time we're going to hear from Jimmy Garoppolo for a while, to the point of why is the backup? Well, of course he's going to talk today.
Right.
It's a major story today. Of course Trey Lance is going to talk today. It's a major story today. Today's the first opportunity. But I'd be willing to bet Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't speak again unless Jimmy Garoppolo either goes into a game and he talks after that game, or is inserted as the starting quarterback for a future game because Trey Lance is injured or ineffective. However it plays out, I would bet that Jimmy Garoppolo, and he's pretty good, obviously, starting quarterback, you got to go to the podium, but Garoppolo's pretty good at never really being seen during the open locker room portions of the media availability.
I don't get the sense Garoppolo would miss not doing the media at all. Like he doesn't. Like
he knew he had to do it today.
Sure,
but he also knows he doesn't have to do it again unless he's the starter.
Exactly,
or he goes in.
Bro. Exactly. Come on, Steiny. He can't speak for another man. You don't know he's not happy. All right,
he's not happy.
He's certainly not content.
I mean, there was another text that said, look, if he is happy, that's a horrible mindset.
He's making the best of a bad situation.
You cannot be happy and still be a professional. And that's what Jimmy Garoppolo is doing.
I agree.
I mean, I'm not going to say that.
All right. 888-957-9570 is the number. All right. You heard from Trey Lance. You heard from Jimmy Garoppolo. What caught your ear on either one of those guys and what they said? Trey Lance will be the starter. Jimmy Garoppolo is the backup. Do you feel better? Do you feel better about how this might work now that you heard those two guys?